He's my claw hand. Ooh.
Okay, so welcome back everyone to Build the Marathon. It's been a long time since we recorded in here.
A little.
Yeah. I mean, the last video we posted just went out last week, but that one was several weeks old. Yeah. So we're showing this off basically, I would say, about half done, maybe a little bit more than that.
It is impressive.
This is the starting area. Obviously, when you spawn in, which is the first terminal here, and I guess the first thing to show you here. If you come over here and you click this button, it's kind of awkward, because the button's next to the terminal. It's not on it. I can't actually put the button on the terminal because this is a
Minecraft limitation.
No, this is one of the carpenter's blocks angled things. This is one of the so I can't put if I put a button on it, it floats in midair. So there you go.
Oh, neat. I'm Leela, one of the onboard. Oh, that's cool. I gotta move my map because my map is in the way of her text.
Oh yeah, just turn it off. Just turn it off. So if you come around the back here, you can actually see what this is doing, because unfortunately the clearances in here are so tight there wasn't room for me to put a wire. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with this. I may have to move the terminal over a block or something. Yeah, but you see, if you look in here, this is the wire on the back of the block that has the switch, and it's going down in this hole to a thing called a command block, and the command block is running that command that says to deliver the chat. So that's why when you hit the button, Leela says hello. So this bit is this whole room is at an angle, and it took us a while to get this right. That's why all the textures are more or less aligned the way they would be in Marathon as well.
I was terribly impressed with it.
You can see the starfield outside, and you can actually look through the windows, and you can see the other rooms just like you can
in the game. Isn't it great?
I've started putting some of the drums around as well.
Oh yes, no, the barrels are excellent. I love those.
Okay.
Things.
So down here, I've left over. Just ignore this.
Yes, ignore this craft bench you see here.
Yeah. So I've actually had to hollow away. Now a lot of this time, you can look down. You can actually. This isn't glassed in yet.
Yep.
So
This is a window. It's open.
And you can see a bunch of stone. So you're outside. I'm actually using Open Block's blackout curtains to hide some of the stone, because when you look at this in game, you don't really see any of that.
Yeah.
I don't know if Bungie ever really reconciled their idea of what the views from the windows are with the idea that the ship was made out of Deimos, the moon.
Yeah.
Because there's lots of structures that have windows that look out in various directions, and unless it all extended very far from the surface, you almost should have been able to see some of the moon
in the
here.
way.
So some of it I've removed with laser, and some of it I think I'm just gonna hide. And you can see up there those windows there for the other areas in this blank wall as well, for other parts of the level.
Yep.
So basically what's done is almost everything except the labyrinth. So come down here. Again, we haven't glassed this in yet total, but this is the hangar bay.
I love the textures. It just so sells it.
I've textured this area now over here, which is the other balcony that looks over the hangar bay. The one you can't get to this until you're almost done the level. The exit is near here. This basically this needs to be a lift that goes up, because that area I haven't dug out yet.
Now, for lifts, are we going to be using the elevator blocks? Or...
Probably just the elevator blocks. I don't really think there's going to be an easy way to make lift puzzles.
Not physical, yeah.
And there are ways of making one lift blocks that go up and down, but they take a lot of mechanical space around them.
Right.
It depends. I'm looking at some mods that could do that, like the truss mod. Okay, and this actually is the end of the level. This is just a textured terminal. I haven't put a command block here yet. And normally this would be blocked off by a broken door, but since we're building the Marathon in new condition, I don't really want to put any broken things on. That's why Leela doesn't say anything about invading 4 or anything like that. She just says hello, because the Marathon here isn't damaged, hasn't been attacked. There are no 4 yet. Okay, so come in here, and this is the entrance to the labyrinth. This room is all done.
Oh wow! Look at that.
And this kind of works. The problem is that this column here, it doesn't move up the way it does in the game, because a multi-block structure to move a bunch of stuff up out of the way and then move it down would take up a lot of space. So what I do have over here is from the Red Logic mod. I have a thing which is called a self-latching button. And what this does is that when you press this button, it starts generating a signal, and it doesn't stop until it receives another signal. So there's a timer behind that wall on a 10-second loop. So that basically
you push
you hit the button, and that moves. Now, half the time that happens, right? It immediately gets triggered again. So you just hit the button again.
Oh, neat.
And there you go. And now at some point when the timer comes around, that will deactivate the switch and it will push back out.
Look at that! Oh, look at that!
Now, of course, in low gravity with the ability to jump,
you can just jump up.
This is silly. And I always thought it was kind of a weird... I mean, it's almost a tutorial puzzle for Marathon. There's no real reason for there to be a thing like this.
Right. To
block a walkway like that. It really doesn't make any sense. Okay. And I've started working back here, texturing some of the blocks, but I haven't put any lifts there, and I haven't finished digging it out. So there's still a lot of iron down here, and this is the labyrinth. This is going to take some time to do, but it's kind of boring and tedious, to be honest, just digging the iron and texturing a bunch of the blocks.
Yeah. Nobody wants to see that.
But we're getting there. So probably this will be the last episode of this for a while. I think what we'll do is we'll finish this off, and then we will import the next level, Bigger Guns, and that'll either be here with this one, or maybe in another dimension. I'm not sure. Eventually, I think we're going to need more room than we get just inside this this version of Deimos that we imported. It is pretty big. I think we can definitely fit in. I think at least maybe 2, maybe 3 more levels. Like if you come out here,
I would think.
Yeah, like if you come out here and look, you can see actually that a significant portion of this level is actually sticking out outside of the moon.
Oh yeah.
But there is area for a small level up top here where we have our power systems.
Yeah.
And there's also a fair amount of room for again another small level on the bottom, maybe 2 small levels down here.
Don't go too low.
Yeah, no, I mean this is almost as tall as the whole dimension.
Wow.
And in behind here, if you could look in, is the labyrinth. If I dug through the wall here, I would end up in.
That's where it would be. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, but there's some unused space in there, so we can put some more spaces. I basically think what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for the levels that have the most windows and see if I can find a way to place them here in a way that makes sense.
When you come outside, you can see where the wire actually heads out over from the door. Wow, that's awesome. Well, we definitely got to do a finished walkthrough when we're done. You know, we got to show everybody all the rooms as they're completed. That'll be fun.
Yeah, and here you can see the redstone for the and I will texture a little bit of this outside to neaten it up a little bit. Like I'll hide the wires and the redstone, the redstone wires and the pistons and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's like breaking the fourth wall in a movie set.
Yeah. So this will be neatened up to look a little more natural. I'll actually have to fill in some of this with stone here and smooth out some of these edges, and that kind of stuff. But
are we going to take out the trees?
It depends. Now, some people have asked, like, are we going to try and use Galacticraft to pressurize this area? I'm not really sure. This is kind of a large space, and it's rather irregularly shaped, and we have a lot of different kinds of blocks in here, and I'm not sure. I'm not sure all of them are considered sealable by Galacticraft. Now we can change that in the config, but I'm not really sure. We'll see. We'll see if we can do it. Obviously, one big problem would be the hangar bay because this is just open to space,
and we have no door.
Yeah, and we have no doors. And the problem is that I can't texture the Galacticraft airlock blocks. So in other words, I can make these doors look like the way they look in the game, or I can make them in airlock, but I can't do both.
Right.
So, right now there are just no doors here. There are just no doors here at all because I can either make them an airlock or a door, or I can use the block textures the way they are in the game.
I know, I love all the textures. It makes it look so real.
Okay, so, but anyway, so this is not going to be like a 2 or 3 times a week thing anymore because a lot of it really is just slow moving. We'll be showing off levels when they show significant progress. But in the meantime, we are going to be doing a new series, which is a very different kind of. This one has been kind of heavy on crafting and a little bit, not too much building. We actually didn't do a whole lot of building, but we did do a lot of crafting.
Yes.
And we did do a fair amount of adventuring, but there wasn't a lot to do. We basically visited the Gravestones mod tomb several times.
Yep.
So instead what we're going to be doing is we're going to be making a new mod pack. I'm hoping to make it public if I get all the proper permissions. I think in any case there are going to be a few mods that will have to be downloaded separately. So people will have to, they'll go to Technique and they'll add the pack, and then there'll be some separate downloads of mods they have to add themselves.
Right.
But the config files will all be in there.
So they'll know what to get.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. You'll just have to go to add basically because there's some mod authors that they need the support from the sponsored links, you know, to keep working on their mods. And if people use mod packs, then they don't get those clicks. So you know, and that's their that's their right. They have the right to do that. Some people are like, yeah, fine, I don't care, put it in a mod pack, just credit me, and it's no problem. We're going to have a complete list with all credits, links to all the forum threads for all of the mods that are in the pack will be there. And this pack will be focused on exploration and combat, dungeons, monsters, and a little bit of magical stuff. No technology, almost. I think we're going to be keeping
primitive and high adventure.
Yeah, there's not going to be, I think we're going to be keeping, like extra utilities and what is it, open blocks for a few utility type things, but no industrial craft, no build craft, no mechanism, no galactic craft.
Think Dungeons
but a lot
and Dragons.
Yeah, a lot of dungeons, a lot of various dungeons. Better Dungeons is going to be in there. Which is also called Chocolate Quest, and some other things.
Now the rendering stuff that we're going to be doing is also a little bit more natural. We're going to have like cooler looking waters and nicer looking skies.
I'll be using shaders. I'll be using shaders when I record, and we're also going to be, the terrain is also going to be different because we're calling the pack Aurora Novum, and we're basing it on the New Dawn terrain generation mod, which basically, I mean, Minecraft terrain looks totally different than it does in our other series.
Yep.
So that should be fun.
Everyone keeps saying, "Aren't you going to use the real Minecraft?" And I'm like, "This is the real Minecraft." So yeah, that's always funny because a lot of people they have vanilla. You know, the devices they work on, the systems they have are just vanilla. They don't use anything else. So it looks a lot more blocky and primitive and simplistic.
This will look a little bit like vanilla, but the placement of blocks is very different because New Dawn does the stuff basically where it does a lot with calculating temperature and humidity to try and place biomes, so that you don't get like deserts next to.
Right, you don't have weird things
mountains.
Hanging in midair.
Yeah.
But it's just the style and the look. I mean, the shaders that we're using are different, and the rendering quality is different. But it is still Minecraft. It just has a different style to it. And in fact, some of the new advanced stuff looks so good. I can't wait to show some of that off.
Right. So we'll be coming back to this series periodically, and look for the new one as well.
So check us out. We're going to be doing fun things.
Yep. See you next time.
Woohoo!